So Arne Slot's preseason comes to an end in the US, and it finished so well with a 3-0 win over Manchester United in a game that I feel like it was really convincing in terms of how the scoreline is really resembling. But of course, there were a lot of things that we're going to talk about. But one thing I want to say before we go far: do not judge the performance because it's still a preseason, people. It is still a preseason. And the one thing that we have to always remember is that we get carried away because, of course, there's just this confusion over the new manager, what we're expecting, what will happen, how do we go with the new season and stuff like that, that we actually forget that this is actually a new team. The man has only had about 3 weeks with these players from the youngsters, and you can see that the ones he has had 3 weeks with, they are already buying into his strategies. But the ones who, for example, like Diogo Jota, only have about 4 days, the ones like McAllister who did not even feature, and the likes of Konate who only have about maybe 2 days with the guy, a lot of things are still missing. So hello guys, welcome back to another video. This is the Football Connect. I'm your host. I really want to hear your comments in the comment section. What did you think of today's performance? What did you think of Liverpool's way they approached this game, how they found themselves, how they were working it out? And I'm curious to hear what are you expecting. So what I'm going to be doing in this video, I'm going to try to outline everything I saw, the good, the bad, and maybe just give you my thoughts over how maybe some of the things will progress so well and where we are expecting looking at this United game. If you're interested in how I'm going to be giving my overview of the whole tour, go check it out. There's a feature channel in this channel, the Football Connect. Go check it out. It's called Football Connect LFC, where I'm going to be doing my analysis of the whole entire preseason tours, talking about who impressed, what the players did, and what am I really expecting over the new manager. So it's going to be an interesting one. So let's get into the video. Click the like button, by the way, if you've been doing that. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section, like I said. So one thing that we need to talk about, there is, of course, we talked about that there are stages of how Liverpool wants to approach the game. And firstly, there's the first build-up that happens in defensive, and what happens in the strike force when we are trying to finish up our chances. And it's no longer like Klopp, like I told you the last video that I did, that way whenever we lose the ball or we win the balls in high places, we want to take advantage of a counter and maybe hurt teams, because if we lose the ball there, if we are not in shape or if we are not in the structure, the other teams might punish us over a counter-attack, in which today Manchester United had a problem. Because if there's one thing that we know Manchester United for doing, they always take advantage of the teams who are always going to be thinking of attacking and leaving so many losses in terms of the structural performance or whatever that it would look like. So the thing that I was seeing today, which was really interesting, was this: every single time when we were attacking on the left side and Tsimikas was overlapping, Conor Bradley was dropping backwards to end up becoming one of the players who helps in defensive if there is any loss of the balls on that side, as well as whenever Conor Bradley and Salah on the right side are covering and they're going forward, they were also dropping for backwards as well on the other side. And that was something interesting that so many people might not really talk about it, but those are the small changes you can see in Arne Slot's system, in which he is really helping this team to become, adjustable in everything that happens, try to make the team even perform so well. And of course, like I said, there are two stages: the build-up stages as well as the attacking stages. The purpose of the build-up stages is to draw in the team that you're playing with to come close, so that they open up spaces, in which that I felt like today Callaghan was not really at his best in terms of distribution, because usually whenever they put the teams back and the ball goes to the goalkeeper, he always do the long balls. But today he was kicking them too much with venom, that they were ending up in Onana's side, rather than to drop in where maybe Harvey Elliott to be in the middle of the park, where he was the Arne Slot. You can see he's really working and opening up teams, and it's really exciting, because I think this is going to be a system that is going to be exciting. You could see that Eric Ten Hag had an idea of what Arne Slot can do, because of course he has faced him when he was still at Ajax and stuff like that. So he had a system in which of trying to disturb the the build up, and I think they actually had a target man. If you watch the game, Manchester United had a target man. They were not attacking so much whenever Bradley had the ball, whenever Konza had the ball, or whenever Tikmikas had the ball. But every single time when the ball goes to Konate, they were taking advantage because of his two errors he made in the first beginning of the games, passing in the midfield, giving the wrong people, maybe hitting the ball too much that it passes the midfielder. All those things you could see, and I'm saying, this is just a player who they've just had only 2 days with the manager. There's still so much to develop to actually become better at this, to actually become better at how they actually do so. And also talking about looking at Diogo Jota, the way he was playing forward, you can see that as he's trying to play as a gunman, there's still a lot of things that are still missing. He still has to understand his role properly and what he's gonna be doing. And don't be surprised, maybe he might not be playing that role come next season. And it's really interesting how Liverpool are building up to make this team so perfectly well. And I understand we still don't even have our strongest team, the strongest lineup. And today, what we did with United, some people might call it that we were lucky. Somebody actually saw a United fan side TV saying that Liverpool were lucky. United played well, but I have to say it was not because Liverpool were lucky. It was because Liverpool were making so many errors in which United were trying to take advantage of, but they were not really good at taking advantage of them because at most Gallagher was saving those chances. On top of that, not only saving those chances, the defense was also dealing with the pressure to get it out. But every single time when we were creating something going for the other side, we were scoring goals. That shows you the difference between the two teams, that whenever there is a chance for United, they were not taking their chances. Whenever there is a chance for Liverpool, it ends at the back of the goal. And most of the goals which were scored, to be honest, you can never blame Onana for those ones. Even you could see his reaction over the goals. He just looked at it going into the back of the net, and you would understand that it was because of good players which was being done. And I don't know, people are not seeing this. I think it's gonna make sense so much as we get into the season, as the teams start to gel in terms of the onslaught ball and stuff like that. Conor Bradley, when he runs, when he overlaps, usually you'd expect him to pass it and give it to the goalkeeper like the youngsters were doing in the second half. But rather than to do that, he drops it back into the players. And I feel like the midfielders, when they start running, the Dominic Soboslai, the Harvey Elliott, or maybe the striker, the gunman, whenever they are just very good in actually picking up the strikers when they drop those balls back, I'm telling you, this team is going to be very, very much scary. And there is a lot of things that is going to be built up of this one because, of course, we haven't done any signings. There are a lot of loopholes. You can see that, okay, this needs to be changed. And I think maybe with time, Anslot will work on that to make the team even much, much better, because I'm looking at the fact that Curtis Jones, sometimes I feel like it takes too much time with the ball, doesn't know when to release it early or release it late. Something that we saw from Trey Nyon in the game against Betis, that he's really good at it, knowing when to release the ball or when to hold the ball. And also maybe talk about the partnership. Of course, Ryan Gravenberch, today I think we've actually managed to see maybe a position in which he was trying to thrive the most and actually be able to play so well, because I felt like even though he was not yet polished into what the manager wants him to be, you can see that there is a player right there, somebody who can actually be used perfectly in terms of what they want to develop. And you understand that maybe the physique of the team is really getting better. You can see that people are doing so good in terms of how they're approaching the games. And also the other thing that I can really take out, we haven't seen Stefan Basic playing at that number 6 role, double pivot, with maybe somebody who's really good rather than the youngster, somebody who can actually play alongside to him and they can actually work together to make that defensive position so perfectly well. There were so many balls that which Inuachi was releasing, and you could see that there was nobody receiving them and stuff like that. So that is something that I believe will be worked on as time goes on. But one thing you can really give some respect to is that Liverpool are looking like they're ready for the new season. They're looking like they're excited and they're hungry to prove, to show. Of course, it happens when you have a new manager. Everyone has a new something to do to start in to do so well. So I have some couple of players that I'm going to pick up and tell you that maybe I felt like they were really good than the other days. So firstly, Conor Bradley. today he came of age. He played so well under Ancelotti, and it seemed like he's understanding his role, what to do, how to get the best of it. And like I'm saying, some of the things he was doing today in terms of the passes, bringing them back, if that was Trent Alexander-Arnold, would be counting them as goal, because he's really good at picking up strikers in that there. But of course, you can see that there's that working progress that is working happening in Conor Bradley. So I'm really happy for him. In the midfield, Gravenberch, only 2 days coming into this team, and somehow you're already seeing some perfection, some perfect play, and what he's doing to help out the team to make it even perfect in terms of how he's approaching the game and how he's doing it for that. So that is something also we can build from, and we can actually progress and actually get the best out of. So I'm really excited over that prospect. Imagine what's going to happen when Maka is in the team. Looking as well as Carvalho, now 2 goals in this 3 games preseason, is looking sharp. And now I think for the first time the Liverpool fan base have actually discovered that there is that element of Felipe Coutinho, and he showed it today, that pass in and making those defenders of United look like they're just ordinary, scoring a goal that even the goalkeeper don't even have the energy to go down and try to save it. And that shows you how much he can be so perfect. And I do believe he is not going on loan. I think he's going to remain with the team, and I think he's going to be somebody that I advise Liverpool fans to keep an eye on, because he might surprise a lot of players in terms of what's going to be happening. Mohamed Salah, the freedom that is being given to allow that he hug that line and help out, because one thing I've discovered, which is really interesting, whenever the ball is on the right, mark my words, if you are listening to me as a Liverpool fan or maybe as a rival fan, all the 3 players on the right are always going to be at it. I'm talking about the right back in color. In this case, it was the young kid that I was just talking about, as well as the one who's going to be playing in the midfield. And then this point was Harvey Elliott. They will be taking advantage, covering those positions, moving so well, trying to make sure that they cause chaos, breaking the lines and making it even more exciting. So you have to watch that one. I think that is going to be a partnership that is going to rock your world in this season. As well, on the left, it happens as well that whenever Cavalier was going, Constantine Tsimikas was there, as well as Elliott taking those positions. Like remember, he was playing that number 10 position, and some point if he was not there, you could see Curtis Jones taking advantage of the spaces, trying to cover and doing so much. So there is so much that is going to change from this Liverpool team, but right now you can see that there is a structure, and that structure is looking like it's gonna look so exciting. Yet that's why I was saying that I'm gonna do a bit of more of assessment over the toe in the other channel, so you should check it out, because I know that I'm gonna be covering so much from this. Looking at United, another player who went out injured. By the way, that was a crazy tackle. What he was trying to do, what was he even doing? I did not even understand. It didn't make sense. It did not really make sense. I felt like they were really good, really, in terms of attacking, trying to stop Liverpool from building from the backwards. Of course, because they have Onana, they would have understand how to stop a goalkeeper who enjoys playing around with the ball like what an Onana does. But one thing I think that they did not really plan was to see how Liverpool were going to be able to play in those tight spaces, in which even Konate was failing to do so. They were able to try to do so well to cause chaos. Even though they did so much they could, the Casemiro was good. Liverpool always had a way to break them down in going forward, but so much of the time they played so good. They were really showing that the tactics were really working well. The youngsters came out, showed that they are a good team. Marcus Rashford looking sharp. Maybe that's one of the reasons why I'm predicting him as one of the top goal scorers of the season. There is some things that are changing, of course. Like I told you, it's because of Road. For me, whenever I think of United, I'm looking at Van Nistelrooy. I feel like this guy is going to make United so perfect. So everything will come to make sense very, very much. And I'm telling you, keep an eye on this team. Give it time and watch what they do in the opening of the season. As well, we have to remember there are going to be some signings from Slot. He needs to get ball playing center backs, because as much as I've seen from Konate, of course, it's still early to judge him under this one. Maybe he will progress. He's not really doing enough in terms of what the manager is expecting. You can also say the same thing with Wataru Endo, in which I felt like Endo really into this game, he was really good. He came off edge and he was playing so well. Or maybe was there a positional change? I don't know. Let me know in the comment section. But today he was really, really lethal in what he was doing, and I was really excited to see. Trainion came in as well, caused chaos, the passes, the openings, the crosses, the way he's able to get away from some crazy tackles and be able to do so much well. And we saw the young kid who was playing with so much, I think it's Balak or something like that, playing so well, causing chaos, trying to make United do so. And Ben Doak, I feel like he still needs more coaching, but you will see that there's something special with this team. So now the question is this: how many people goes out on loan? How many people stays in this Liverpool squad? What's gonna be happening? How is Ancelotti planning this team, and what is it exactly expecting to remain with as we go into this new season? I don't know. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I hope you had an amazing game. I hope you enjoyed watching what Ancelotti is cooking over at Eric Ten Hag. Only his first 3 games and they're all 3 victories. It's crazy, people. It's crazy, people. So let's see what happens. We don't want to get over carried. He still doesn't even have one of his own players that he said he has chosen, and it's one of you ones. He's still dealing with what Jurgen Klopp left for him, and we'll see what happens in this season. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed the preseason tour of US. I've covered all the games that I needed to cover. Like I'm saying to you, if you want to watch my full analysis over what I've thought of the tour and whatever that I'm expecting over the new season, go check it out. It's gonna be on the Football Connect LFC. That is the channel that we're gonna be covering more Liverpool oriented videos that I feel like maybe sometimes I bore you guys with so many Liverpool content. So check it out there. Thank you very much for watching. Keep liking that video on Football Connect and subscribing. Let me know your honest opinion. What did you think of today's performance? I'm out. Like, subscribe to the Connect. Peace.